Man, I really miss Flash games. I remember back in the day growing up on my mom's shitty ass, almost tube TV looking computer with the tower on the side, playing a bunch of different Flash games. Can't even remember half of them. A few pop into my head, but I can't remember the names of them. But I remember coming home from school, stealing my mom's computer or laptop when we had a laptop and just playing a lot of these Steam game or Flash games and or just pass the time and avoid doing homework and stuff. And even at school, you'd have like different flash game websites that you could access, some underground ones and stuff, just to avoid doing schoolwork and stuff. And then they'd tell you to log out and stuff, get in trouble and crap. But it's just I have very fond memories of flash games. RIP. I know this has been a while since they got rid of flash games entirely, pretty much off the face of the planet for whatever reason. They got rid of Flash Player or whatever, but I think it's the only time I talked about it because it just popped in my head just how fondly I remember playing Flash games and how much I miss them because they were so cool. Some are really, really well made games and turned into like full games. Like one that really pops into my mind, Bloons Tower Defense. I mean, just became huge, and now it's its own game in Steam. And then there's probably a lot of other ones too that like game developers, use that to like improve upon, what they do, and then maybe even made some decent games in the future. But I'm just on a, I just wanted to do a little video just talking about some of the Flash game websites and Flash games that I remember fondly, and just kind of talking about it because I really do miss playing Flash games. So I just wanted to kind of talk about it. So we're going to switch perspective here. So I went on to look up. 'Cause I can't remember all the Flash game websites, but I went ahead and looked up which ones there were. And just looking at this, I remember Miniclip was one I remember a lot of. Armor Games, Congregate had a lot of games too. Congregate was probably one of my favorite. Congregate and Armor Games were like two real big ones that I remember playing a lot of. I remember one that was like Insecticide or whatever. I think it was on Congregate where you like just crush bugs, and it was like kind of like a tower defense game. Well, no, it wasn't really a tower defense. It was just kind of like a clicker game, basically. Then you got Addicting Games. I remember that. Newgrounds. Best Flash Games, another one I remember as well. And then this one has got a lot of ones I remember. So Newgrounds, Congregate, Armor Games, Addicting Games, Miniclip. I think Pogo was one I remember a lot. Yeah, Pogo. I remember there was one game on there I loved on Pogo. Crazy Games, Shockwave, Cool Math, which was like the only one that allowed in school they allowed you to play on was Cool Math because it's actually like learning games and stuff. But there were some games in there too that were like not math oriented at all. But I remember a big one on there that I played a lot of in school was Papa's Pizzeria, like Burgeria and all the Papa games, which actually are pretty big still today and are mainly mobile games, but I think you can get them on computer as well. Ninja Kiwi, Crazy Monkey, I remember that too. That sounds familiar. There's a lot of classic websites that I remember playing before I was big into PC gaming and stuff and actually played and had a PC that could run like actual games. I was playing a lot of these cool little flash games that are like very short, maybe play it for an hour or two, maybe three, but then you move on to the next one. But there's just so many of them. We're gonna back out here and we're gonna look at some of the top flash games from my childhood. Yeah, this is back in 2020. It's been a while since they got rid of flash games. I just now popped into my mind just how many games that I remember fondly. Let's just look at some here, right here. I remember the Impossible Quiz. It's kind of like a joke game. Came out in 2007. That one was crazy. That one was crazy fun. Like there was different like options. I mean, I don't know. I forgot how many of these games they made, but they made like two or three of them. I remember like a big YouTubers would play it, and like a lot of the answers just didn't make sense, or they did but didn't at the same time. But yeah, it was a that one was it's not really a game. It's more like a quiz, like it says in the description. Obviously, I remember that. Happy Wheels, probably the biggest one. I think you still play Happy Wheels, but one of the biggest ones. I don't needs no introduction. I remember watching PewDiePie, Markiplier, A lot of big YouTubers all played this game. Super big one. Bloons TD4, all the Bloons TD games. Super massive as well. Robot Unicorn Tech. I remember that was on Adult Swim. Like Adult Swim had a website that you could play Flash games on it, like mature Flash games. Some were kind of weird. I remember it was like something bastard or something you like raised like a little like being, like a little pet and stuff. I remember playing that, but then my mom found out and I couldn't play it anymore. Bloons Tower Defense, all of them once again. Co-op, never really got into that, but I remember a lot of people made YouTube videos on co-op, raging and stuff. Mahjong, I remember that, or I don't know how you say it. I remember playing that on Pogo, like I said earlier. A lot of big games, all the Papa games, fucking massive. My favorite is probably the burger one, even though it's pretty bare bones. I just like making burgers, but I know you can still play them. And a lot of them are mobile games now. So, Gunblood. Oh, I remember that too. Gunblood. Yeah, I think there's like an online mode of this too. Like there was like a game mode that you can shoot like an apple off someone's head too. That one's a classic. Oh my god, I saw a big one this now. I remember playing that game on mobile too. Fucking Doodle God. It's like a little crafting game where you'd mix elements and stuff to make different items, and you once you crafted all of them, you'd beat the game. That one's a big one, super big one. Kingdom Rush sounds familiar. Vector sounds familiar. Didn't this turn into a mobile game? Stick War, like kind of like a, don't really know how to describe that one. It's like a kind of like a tower game where you have to protect your tower and you get more technology in a game. You get more advanced units so you can beat the other player. Crush the Castle, I remember that. It's like a Flappy Bird. Not Flappy Bird, Jesus Christ. Angry Bird. An Angry Bird copy where you like shoot a trebuchet and knock and as it says, crush the castle. There've been like 3 of these games. But yeah, it's like Flappy Bird basically. Oh my gosh, dude. These games are so elite. Age of War is kind of like Stick War. It's like maybe like 3 or 4 of those games. Doodle God so far has been like my most favorite. I think Pandemic was on there too. Used to be a Flash game. God, what was this one called? Fancy Pants. Yeah, Fancy Pants. Classic, dude. This is like the gamer made a 16 best Flash games. Madness. I remember this would come. It'd be like Thing Thing. They made another game that's like Thing Thing, where it's like a little arena game. This is like the story mode basically, and it'd be like Thing Thing, where like you could have a different weapons and go against an unlimited amount of enemies. I remember playing that way more than that. Don't recognize that. Don't recognize that. Territory War. Yep, I remember that. It's kind of like Worms, but in 2D. Well, I guess Worms is in 2D too, but it's kind of like Worms where you have to knock opponents off or just lower their health. I think the biggest one that was kind of like in this format was Raft Wars or whatever, where it is like you were in a boat and you had to knock them in the water or lose their health. Kind of like the same thing there. Don't recognize that. Happy Wheels. That should be number 1, honestly. Interactive Buddy. Yep. Yep. You basically beat the shit out of them to make money so you can get new items and beat the shit out of them some more. Classic. Another one, not everyone reminded me of it, but Learn to Fly. They made like 3 or 4 of them. I can't use my finger. 3 or 4 of them. All were just an improvement over the last. Fancy Pants. Don't recognize that. Bloons Tower Defense, of course. I don't even know. Number 1 was Helicopter Game. I don't even know what the heck that was. Dust was another one, which is like a little. I don't even know how to explain Dust. That's one I remember a lot. Playing a lot. I don't even know how you. I guess it's a physics simulation game, powder game. Where like you just make crap. I remember playing that a lot too. So many games, man. It's such a shame that they got rid of Flash Player back a few years ago. There's so many fucking games. So many games that I just remember so fondly. Club Penguin, never really played Club Penguin. Swords and Sandals, never really played that either. These are from the early 2000s. Might recognize a few of these. This was, I was just talking about that. Stick RPG, I played all of them, dude. I played all and beat all the Stick RPG games. Those are really good. Learn to Fly, yep. Quap. Duck Life was a big one. I talked about that earlier. Swords and Sandals, never played it. I think I remember playing Electric Man, but didn't really like it super good. Line Rider, I know a lot of people made like crazy fucking levels in Line Rider. So many good games. Never played Dino Run. Robot Unicorn. I might mention that's in Adult Swim. I remember playing this on Adult Swim's website, oddly enough. Beat Your Boss, that was another one. I was talking about Raft Worlds earlier. Beat Your Boss was another one, which was kind of brutal. They made a bunch of different games in that format. They're all kind of weird, to be honest. This looks familiar. Civaballs? Kind of weird. Neopets. Never really played Neopets. Pop Tropica. Oh my gosh. Pop Tropica was like one of the websites that were not banned from my school for such a long time. So like when we had free time and could go to the library and play games, Pop Tropica was like my go-to, bro. Cool Math Games and Pop Tropica, bro. I'd play Pop Tropica all the time in the school website or the school fucking computer, and I'd go home and play it as well on two different characters, bro. Saying Crusted Castles, Crusted Castle, the world's hottest game, as a big one. Didn't really play it myself, but I know it was super popular on YouTube. A lot of people played it. Boxhead, that kind of sounds familiar. Now hordes of enemy soldiers evading demons and bloxy zombies. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yep, Run Trilogy. Yep, played all those. Pizzeria or Papa. Yeah, Whack Your Boss. Yeah, the whole goal was to like find different objects to kill him with, but then there was like other games that were just way different. Oh my god, Henry Stickmin, still pretty big to this day too. Bloxards, little geometry game on Cool Math. We'll go over a few more. I'm just like this is kind of like jogging my memory. We're going to forum now. Hopefully there's no weird shit on here. Duck Life, Run. Just miss Flash games, man. See what this list has. We got 10 games. Bejeweled? That sounds familiar. Oh, it's like Candy Crush. Candy Crush, basically. Don't know what the fuck that is. Bowman, yes. I remember playing with my oldest brother. And we'd try to beat each other. And I'd suck at it because I was a kid and I was dumb. I remember playing some tank game that was like I said, like Worms, where it's like a 2D and you shoot each other and try to kill each other too. That's one I remember too. Yeah, Line Rider. I remember playing Line Rider. There's also another one where it's like you'd snowboard around different mountains and stuff. I don't know if that's even on here. This looks familiar, but I don't think I really played it that much. Yeti Sports? There's another one with like a shark. You have the original Bloons. What later became Bloons Tower Defense. Zuma, which is like Peggle, basically. Frogger. Space Invaders. I don't really recognize those. Snake Game. I'm trying to think of like. See, there was. Let me think. Yeah, it was like this. Downhill Snowboard was a big one I remember playing as well. Yep. I'd do like flips and shit to go faster. You had to get a score before you reached the bottom. That was a big one. I remember another one was like you would lock. I know it's a bit different, but like you'd launch rocket ships up. I think it was like Go to Space or something, and you won when you got to the moon. There's a lot of sniper games I played. Pretty simple sniper games. There's one like big war game. One I played so much. Probably the most out of all these I've made Bloons TD. Yeah, Warfare 1917 was a big one, I remember. Evolution of Endless War, another big one, I remember too. I think it was Battle Gear. I think it was Battle Gear. I think they made like two or three of them. It was like a 2D like tower game, and you had to like take over the world. This is not what I was thinking of. Yep, it was Battle Gear. Battle Gear was another big one. I think that was like the third game I played a lot of, where it's like the entire world, and you had to take over the entire world. Um, yeah, sick, 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 sick. But I think that's about all we're going to talk about. I just wanted to go over some Flash games for a few minutes with you guys. Let me know what y'all's favorite Flash game is in the comments, but all these are classics. I miss these games so much. I saw a website earlier that said that you could run all the classic Flash games without an emulator. You don't have to download anything. I don't know what I think about all that. Hopefully it works, but I'm scared it's a virus. But I might check it out. But anyway, that's going to be it from you guys. Just a little quick little video for you guys talking about some Flash games. Classic. If you had childhood, you know these games were elite. But that's all I'm going to say, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video once again. I'll see you guys in the next one, in another one. Peace.